Joining us on the phone right now is Michael Tracy, independent journalist. Is that right, Michael?
I think that's fair to say, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. How's it going, buddy?
Not so good.
Really?
I'm here in Brick, New Jersey, which is in northern Ocean County, and I've been just driving around for a while trying to get on the Garden State Parkway, and it's kind of a scary situation. I mean, there are major intersections where the traffic lights are not working, so there's large buildups of cars trying to figure out ways amongst themselves to get in. I mean, there are cops directing at some intersections, but not all. Emergency vehicles, fire trucks, constantly flying all over the place. I was just at the beach in Seagirt, New Jersey, Manasquan, New Jersey, and Point Pleasant, which are in a little bit farther north in Monmouth County. These are places I've actually been going to my entire life. I'm from New Jersey originally, northern Jersey, but a lot of people come to the shore, obviously. And the beaches are just totally different now. Boardwalks are destroyed. People's houses are destroyed.
Is the water
really incredible?
The water, I assume, has receded for the most part, yes?
For the most part, yeah. There are still pockets that I've seen of flooding. I mean, people still have flooded basements. I spoke to this elderly man who lived like 3 blocks away from the beach in Manasquan. In his basement, entirely flooded. He lost everything in it. Washer, dryer, kitchen, etc.
Now, all right. So just to be clear with us, like, how far, where exactly in New Jersey are you relative to, say, to Atlantic City? Give us a sense if people don't know the geography of the Jersey Shore. Yeah,
so the Jersey coastline is more. It extends farther north, actually, to across the body of water from Staten Island. Staten Island is also very severely hit. So I'm farther north on the Jersey coastline, but this is still the Jersey Shore area. This is Monmouth County, so it's considered like central New Jersey. If you can picture like New Jersey, it's kind of halfway between the top 2 points, maybe a little bit farther south, and then east toward the coast. That's where I am right now. But yesterday I was in Atlantic City, which is, I would say, an hour south of here. Maybe a tad less, around an hour. It depends on what the traffic is, obviously. But Atlantic City, because I went to, actually originally Obama and Christie were scheduled to go to Atlantic City, but then they kind of all of a sudden switched it to nearby Brigantine, which is kind of just right across the bay there.
Uh-huh.
But they were supposed to appear in Atlantic City first, but I don't know if you've been following. Chris Christie had a spat with the mayor of Atlantic City. There was conflicting information on what orders were given to the people there in terms of evacuation and people who left or not. I was there yesterday and talked to some people who didn't evacuate, and almost all of them, except one guy, said they wished that they had evacuated. But people had the wrong impression from Hurricane Irene, which is just a little over a year ago. It's a totally different type of storm, but people just figured, that wasn't like quite as bad as it was hyped as.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to ride out here, but Atlantic City was totally flooded. The guy told me that the one guy who didn't regret staying told me he was sitting at his top. He lived like a block or two from the beach. And by the way, I was walking along the boardwalk yesterday, and you just walk up to a certain point, and it's just no more boardwalk.
Wow.
It was stunning. This guy, he decided to ride it out. He was sitting there, he rents like a apartment there. It's actually a heavily black community and relatively poor community in Atlantic City that people don't think of when they think of Atlantic City. Think of casinos. But this community was right near the beach, and some of them don't trust like the municipal authorities that much, so decided that they would they didn't believe about the severity of the storm. And the one guy I did encounter who told me he didn't regret staying, he was like a younger guy. He was sitting at his top deck on his little house there. And the water was so high that he was reaching down with a fisherman's net and catching fish. And then he cooked up the fish with his neighbor.
Wow. So, have you seen what kind of recovery efforts have you seen? What kind of is there National Guardsmen? I mean, what are you seeing in terms of recovery? I assume most of the rescue is done, but what are you seeing?
Well, the rescue is not done yet. That's the thing. I mean, there's still. Somebody told me this morning there are 8 people trapped, unaccounted for here in Manasquan.
Wow.
I mean, there are a lot of elderly people who can't easily get out in and out of places. I mean, I was just listening on the radio to this woman who was, upset, elderly woman in Manhattan in a high-rise who can't get down the stairs and has no food or water, electricity, or anything. So, I mean, just to make a little bit of a broader point here, I'm not clear on how these affected regions, I mean, just the ones that I've seen in New Jersey and the images I've seen, I'm not sure, I don't know how they're expected to hold elections on Tuesday. I mean, that's a different subject, I know. But I mean, I feel like that should be more of concern to the rest of the country. I know New Jersey and New York are not quote-unquote swing states, but, they're still supposed to matter in a presidential national election, and these places are, I mean, so the images of Breezy Point, Queens, it literally looks like a bomb was dropped. That's how bad it is. It was just rubble and fire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people are dealing with that. I mean, I imagine for those people, the election probably recedes on some level in terms of what they need to deal with. I mean, we've got problems down in
and I mean, we don't know. And Sam, the thing is, like, we don't know. New Jersey is a heavily Democratic state, but we don't know how I mean, Sandy was literally the largest Atlantic Ocean hurricane ever recorded in history. I mean, going back hundreds of years, we have no idea how it made landfall in New Jersey. We don't know. The communities affected are disproportionately black,
right, and
minority and poor, which skews Democratic. New Jersey's a heavily Democratic state, but it went for a Republican, I believe, in '88, and it was. Remember, people thought it was in contention for George W. Bush in 2004. Kerry only won it by, I think, maybe 4 or 5 points or something. So who the heck knows how this? I mean, the point is, this is not. The area that I'm in right now is in no position to vote right now. There's no power.
Interesting.
People are worried about getting food and diapers and water. They can't worry about voting.
And what have you seen in terms of getting people food and I mean?
I don't see anything right now. I see the only authorities I see out are cops directing traffic. I've seen utility people walking around, but they're just people inside their houses with no idea what to do. They don't have any information. Right. Like elderly people don't use the internet to begin with, a lot of them, and they have no. Their phones are out. I went to a 7-Eleven earlier, which was just operating. It was only selling coffee and like non-perishables. They got in coffee from like another 7-Eleven further away, a little bit further away, that has coffee.
And so, have you spoken to any authorities?
People have no information about even where to vote. The polling locations are not even going to be operable. How are the people going to find out where to vote?
Have you spoken to any authorities about what they're doing to try and get people food and stuff like that? I mean, I appreciate what you're saying about the voting thing, and and I mean, I think that's a great point. I mean, obviously, these people are going to lose the opportunity to vote in at least some of those instances. I don't know what they would do. I don't know how they would do it, but I got to imagine if there are people in their homes. They don't know what to do. They have no access to any information, and they're not getting food. Yeah. That's probably what's on their minds first. I mean, have you talked to any authorities around there as to what they're doing?
All the authorities are so busy. These guys have been working for almost nonstop since the storm. I mean, I was in Brigantine yesterday where Obama was. This cop was like helping direct traffic. It looks like he was about to fall asleep because he's gotten no sleep at all.
Right.
These public workers are telling me they've been clearing sand. There have been like preliminary, in areas where the rescue phase is done, there have been preliminary restoration efforts. Like in Brigantine, everyone was basically safe that I was aware of. And they were like, doing some sand removal. I mean, they were doing very preliminary kind of restoration stuff. I talked to a guy who bartended at like a beachfront restaurant that was literally destroyed, totally destroyed. You have to go on unemployment now, he told me. There's, like even here in Manasquan and other coastal places, there's still people that are trapped. I mean, there's still National Guard rescuing people from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Wow. Yes.
I don't know how. I mean, Sayreville, New Jersey, is completely almost destroyed. It's totally flooded. You can't even go in. So how is Little Ferry, New Jersey? I mean, there are a ton more people that don't get that much attention, even in New York too. Staten Island, Queens,
Right.
even Lower Manhattan. How are they going to hold? I know there's a human cost here, but still, I mean, I remember how fixated everyone was. Sorry, on the presidential election. It's still a big deal, and these places are not going to be able to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I haven't heard of any. I haven't heard anything about that, at least in the context.
And nobody's talking about it. Why isn't anyone talking about it? I mean, it seems pretty. I mean, why? If this was Ohio, if this had impacted Ohio, the entire nation would be in collective crisis about it. But because of the Electoral College,
right?
I guess New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and even other areas even like in parts of New England have been affected. New Hampshire still has no power. Parts of it. New Hampshire's a swing state. Virginia was affected. I mean, what would it take for Congress to convene and at least deliberate this? I mean, it would take an act of Congress to do anything about delaying the election, and it's 5 days away, and they're doing nothing. I mean, this is not fair to the places that have been hit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, my hope is that they're going to get emergency funds just in general. I mean, I think, it's interesting. So. I haven't heard much about the vote, and I think to a certain extent, people have been. That's been secondary on people's minds, I think, basically because...
Yeah, rightly so. And rightly so, but Sam, it's up to the people who are in the federal government to be thinking of this, and I've heard virtually nothing from members of Congress about it. I mean, I would be interested to hear what Representative Bob Turner, who's a Republican who beat Anthony Weiner in New York, his house was destroyed. I wonder what he thinks about voting on Tuesday. I mean, this is like a real consideration. This is like, it could... Could you imagine the flood of lawsuits that come if Romney somehow wins New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting point.
That would tip the election.
Christy made sure to update us on the status of Halloween.
Speculation, but I think people need to be aware of it.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
I think that's a great point. I mean,
Sam, this is like I know I don't want to be too alarmist, but this is just what I'm seeing is totally shocking to me, and because I've come to this area my entire life, and my parents took me here, family has strong connections here. The boardwalk, I mean, this is like and by the way, Governor Christie's done an excellent job. I have to say, I had problems with him in other areas, but he's really done a phenomenal job. Obama, when he visited this little nook in Brigantine, New Jersey, the neighbors there were all shocked. The president was coming to their little arena that had been wiped out. This woman. Who the Secret Service asked to just walk with Obama. So I went out and talked to her about it afterward. She said she was so nervous that he was coming, but he made her feel extremely comfortable. It was so great. And this woman was a Republican.
Wow.
So I mean,
give me a sense of. I mean, like I say, I've been to Seaside Heights back in the day with friends of mine. But give me a sense of the areas that were hit. You're mentioning Atlantic City. Obviously, in a lot of the low-lying areas, there tends to be lower-income people. But give me an overall sense of the areas hit in terms of sort of demographically speaking. What is the mix of people in Brigantine? Are we? I mean, are we talking?
Well, it's actually.
Go ahead.
Brigantine is actually interesting. Sorry, the area where Obama visited was on the northern shore of Brigantine, which is the most severely affected, and on the North Point there, it was called North Point Marina. They're actually like pretty much working class people. I mean, the women who toured with him, they have beachfront homes, but a lot of times they've been in the family for generations, so they're not like necessarily rich just because they have them. And I mean, there are a few odd richer people there, but most of them are like fairly working class. A lot of them are firefighters or police. Obama met with owners of this marina whose livelihood is just totally uncertain now because the docks that they used to run at this marina had been wiped out, and they had no insurance on the docks. They made their living by renting out dock space to commercial fishermen, and the woman that Obama toured the area with, husband, was a commercial fisherman. He has no idea what he's going to be doing. So, like, people don't even really grasp the enormity of severity of this, even if, like, even the death toll is still rising. I mean, I think there's already approximately 40 deaths announced in New York City. They haven't even gotten to countless people, I'm sure. Right. Imagine all the elderly people who were stubborn and stayed in their high-rises or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and there are definitely reports in Lower Manhattan of people being without water, without running water.
Yeah, I mean, people don't have basic stuff here.
Right.
I mean, they're calling up into WNYC. I'm listening and asking for basic food and water help. I mean, they just don't have. I feel like to be focusing on an election now is just neglectful of this region, and that's why Christie has been so scornful of it. And I think the emotion that he showed when after he surveyed the damage of the Jersey Shore. I mean, people have a very strong connection to the Jersey Shore. I mean, I know it's been the brunt of jokes lately, but I've personally never seen that show. I never cared to.
Right.
Because the Jersey Shore is like a really meaningful place for a lot of people all around. Everyone that I know is affected by it from my hometown in northern New Jersey. I mean, it's just people from Philadelphia, from New York City, Long Island, they all come to the Jersey Shore. It's like a really have a deep connection with it. And it's unbelievable. I mean, my family has a house in the most devastatingly impacted regions, I would say, or areas are the low-lying barrier islands. Because Atlantic City sits on a barrier island. You think of this brigantine.
Right. People should understand, just to explain to people that essentially from Point Pleasant down to about Ocean City, I think it is, more or less, there's a thin strip of land that is at different points attached to the mainland, I guess, if you will, but sometimes by bridge, but sometimes by small little islands, sort of. But for the most part, this is out there almost like it's a big sandbar. And it is a sandbar. I mean, it's just a large sandbar that people call an island. And that's why it's so susceptible to, I mean, everyone's always, I mean, all my life I've heard a fear about what would happen to the island. My family has a house on Long Beach Island, which is one of them. I haven't even gotten to go there yet. The traffic situation is so crazy. I have no idea even how to get there, whether it's accessible. I mean, my family's had a house there that I've gone to my entire life, and there was always the talk about what would happen if the big hurricane hit, and it made more or less a direct impact on it. So I'm really worried about. Well, I hope it's in good shape there. Or it's I mean it's really.
It's not looking good, Sam. I have to say.
Yeah, I mean it sounds really catastrophic there. And Michael, I appreciate you calling in and giving us just a sense of what's happening there. I mean, I think one thing my feeling is that the devastation has been so widespread and over so much like physical territory that it's hard to get a sense of what's happening. And I think we're going to it's going to take over the weekend until I think people at least start to get a sense of the scope of this thing and the depth of it. And sadly, I think what's becoming more clear is that we are not on the other side of this, that we could be seeing worse in the near future in terms of what's happening because
I mean, Hurricane Irene, sorry to interrupt, but Hurricane Irene, lest we forget, followed almost the same trajectory. It just turned a different path inland when it hit in August 2011 and then flooded like upstate New York.
Yeah, you still have communities up near Wyndham and in the Catskills that are still
Hampshire, Vermont,
completely wiped out. I mean, completely wiped out. I mean, we still are seeing fundraising there, and this I think just hit a much wider area. But Michael, I appreciate your keeping us giving us a report from there, and I think it's also reminding us about the implications of the election. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any type of response for it, if there's even any room for it. I mean, frankly, I think getting people to safety and making sure that they're fed and not, it's getting cold now, and have some way of
very cold. People have no heat.
Is paramount. But the election's a good point. Michael, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, thanks a lot. We shouldn't underestimate the severity of the situation here. I've been shocked just walking around.
Okay. All right. Again, good luck, and appreciate your filling us in.
All right. Thanks a lot.